Uganda does not need another dictator. A revolution is not born with bullets. It's born with belief. It begins when a student refuses to be silent. When a mother refuses to give up hope. When a youth once told you are nothing stands up and says, I'm the future. That is the revolution we speak of. Not of chaos, but of clarity. Not of violence, but of vision. Uganda does not need another dictator. It needs disciples of democracy. Uganda does not need fear. It needs fierce hope. And hope is sitting right here in this crowd, wearing these gowns, raising those fists, and dreaming impossible dreams. But dreams without discipline are dangerous. So let us be strategic. Let us be organized. Let us build. Let us vote. Let us speak, and let us lead. Let us return to our communities, not with certificates, but with demands. For education that empowers, not indoctrinates. For jobs that dignify, not exploit. For leaders who serve, not steal. Let our revolution be led by love for our country, for each other, and for the generations yet to come. Fellow comrades, this is not the end of our journey. It's ignition time. Let the revolution is not an apple that falls because it is ripe. You have to make it fall. We are the children of resistance and the parents of change. We are the generation that will no longer ask for permission to be free. So rise, NUP family, march boldly, speak loudly, organize wisely, and never ever let anyone convince you again that your voices do not matter. Because the future is not waiting, it is watching. And we are ready to move the revolution. People power, our power, people power. Viva NUP, viva! Viva! Viva Chagulanyi, viva! Viva!
Hello. Thank you so very much. Before you go, Mr. President, as they discussed inter alia, they have an alternative policy that they would want to hand over to the party. I don't know the Secretary General, how does that go? Okay. You will, Mr. President, you will come and receive the policy from our people.
Good afternoon, everyone. Your Excellency, I'm humbled to stand before you as a graduate of the NUP School of Leadership. I take this opportunity to hand to you this document of policy alternatives drafted by a couple of members of our class. These are views and ideas that we have suggested to transform Uganda. I take this opportunity to hand this document to you, sir, and we pledge to the nation that we shall work on this to deliver Uganda into the future it deserves. Thank you very much.
They will have the picture, the three of them, as they spoke. Join here. The ladies first, then you close. Right there. Let's have that. People power. Our power. People power. NUP. Everywhere. Kaija, you left yourself out. Please. Let's have Kaija also with the team. People power. Our power. People power. NUP. Everywhere. Thank you so very much. You're most welcome. Abana basomye tebasomye mubawulidde tebatawanye natuvunulira naye olunyanyi mbe bakoze ki balwogedde. Thank you so very much. Kaji, are you concluding or you've concluded?
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, the representatives, and thank you for the English. As we come to the conclusion of this has been a cocktail of different students. We've had engineers, we've had musicians, we have Sebunya, yeah, Sulaima, Sebunya, yes, Dax Cartel, yeah. We have journalists like Jonah. Yeah, I want to say thank you guys, and congratulations. I want to wish you the very best. Thank you very much.
So, without wasting any time, let me invite my boss, the leader of parliamentary business, and party spokesperson to please come and give us a communication. You're most welcome.
Aiswa, the graduation yange yawedde yali ya last week kati ompise kwogera kuki byakusoma people power, our power, NUP everywhere. Mr. President, oluzungu balwogedde olungi, kakati kanjogeremuko ku Luganda naye mumutegera Oluganda mmwe wada mwogera luzungu lwokka. For the benefit of the foot soldiers, let me begin with English because they understand English very well. Kati mwabali eyo afterwards mujja genda mu bano babavunulire. So as I was saying, Mr. President, colleague leaders, our graduates, I'm told you came with some of your parents. We do appreciate you and everybody else. I want to congratulate all of you who have been through school for the past couple of months. Thank you for taking off time to study, to add value to yourselves and to this struggle that we are doing. You see, education is in various forms and shapes. Sure, Dr. Spire will tell us, hopefully. You know, there's the education you attain when you go through a formal structure. You go to a university like at Makerere where Dr. Spire teaches, and you study a diploma, a degree, a master's, PhD, and you get a transcript. There's education that you attain through short courses like the ones you have attained through our NUP School of Leadership. There's education that we get through this school called the world and life. And that's the lifelong education that we attain. And hopefully we get to learn and become better citizens and all of that. But I want to congratulate you. Thank you for taking off time to better yourselves. You see, for me, as far as I am concerned, we are ready and we have got what it takes to run government. At all levels. At all levels. Because you see, sometimes people think, you know, it is okay when the top is good. Our president is a lawyer. We have several educated people, Harvard and so on. It's a graduation, Muzidaba. That's a good thing. But we don't want it to be just at the top. At all levels. Because you see, we need leaders at all levels in this our country. And so from what I see, we are ready to run government. So people who had any doubts, are these people ready? Do they have what it takes? We are here and we are ready. People came from the bush, they didn't know what to do, they could not speak the English you're speaking, they had not even a single qualification. But for us, we have said, let's get ready. So that it's one thing to remove this regime, which we are going to do very soon. It's another thing for us to successfully run government, and this shows that we are ready to run government, to change this country, to better the trajectory of our country. And that's what we are doing. Nelson Mandela once said that education is the most powerful weapon that you can use to change the world. That is true. And maybe that's why this government has refused to focus on education, because uneducated people are very easy to rule over. They are very easy to manipulate. We have always made the case, UPE, Universal Primary Education, which is supposed to be a good program. Capitation grant that is given money to run the schools, to cater for the educational needs of each child, is 20,000 shillings. Not per week, not per month, not per term, per year. Just think about that. 20,000 shillings allocated to each child as capitation grant in the UPE schools per year for the whole year. And somehow that child is supposed to compete with schools, private schools, the good ones and so on, to compete with the rest of the world. Not just locally here. It cannot happen. And that's why we remain wrong, we remain in a vicious cycle. And for us in our alternative policies, we have always said, let's increase this capitation grant. If we are serious about educating this young generation to become the kind of leaders we want them to be, let's push it up. In fact, for us, we have said at the bare minimum, let's multiply it by 5 at the bare minimum for a start. So it is still at 20,000 shillings. That's why we have said severally, let's pay all teachers very well, not some teachers. Because what government decided, let's pay just the science teachers well. How about the arts teachers? The arts are important too. Because they're all teachers, they've qualified similarly, they teach the same man hours or woman hours. Let's pay all teachers well. Because when you don't do that, these teachers, they become lethargic. You can force them to go to class, as was the case, because Mr. Museveni called them to State House, intimidated them and said, go back to class quickly. And the poor teachers have gone back to class. But they're not teaching as they should be teaching. They're not passing on the knowledge they should be passing on. Because they're not well motivated. So they will lead us, yes. They will hold the chalk. And they'll not pass on the right content to these children. So all of those things affect education. And so this government is deliberate about frustrating education. Because when people remain there in that state, research has told us that children who are in P7 in UPE schools, they cannot do P2 work. That's a research that was conducted by an entity called WEZO. Children who are in P7 UPE schools, they cannot do work of P2. But they're in P7. And then they'll go to secondary and so on. So they remain shallow. That's what we want to change. That's what our government is going to change. Very deliberately. So that we become a better country. So that people who are educated can challenge leaders. Because when you're not educated, you've been seeing Mr. Museveni moving around. Those poor people at whatever age, elderly, they will kneel down and he gives them an envelope, which has, I don't know, maybe 50,000 or that kind of thing, whatever amount. But somebody who is educated, somebody who knows the value of them being a citizen, will be challenging the leader and saying, no, before you give us those envelopes, where are the roads you promised us? Where is the good healthcare? Where is the good education, infrastructure, service delivery, and so on and so forth? So that's what we want to do. And we have begun it here. So we congratulate you once again. Tulimusogera Luganda bannange tembitegedde wamma kale Jessica ndwogere ku lw'abana abali eri abazadde bamanyi oluzungu ngamba abali abali wali bannamawulire twagala okuyozaayoza abasomi banne mwebale kusoma yogeyoge kusoma kikulu nnyo era ndabamu abantu bangi ndabala abakulembeze abamu abava mu nakawa west mwebale kusoma mwemirire kale pulezidenti alabe nti abenakawa tusoma obalabye pulezidenti obalabye abo bakansala abafaabo basomye mwebale butatuswaza ekyokusoma ekyokuyiga kikulu nnyo ate okuyiga tulina kimanya nti okuyiga waliwo okuyiga okubeera mu kiraasi university nakino okola degree masters phd n'ebirala ni waliwo n'okuyiga nti ogenda kubangulwa nti eno koosi gye musomye oyinza obutagiteeka ku CV yo nekuweesa omulimu naye kubangudde tekulese kyekimu eno ne ku CV muziteekeko tomanya nja kutuuka mu ofiisi omuntu ategeere nti ntambuza emirimu gyaffe nga NUP bwanalabako kakoosi ajja gamba ono gwe njagala ono abimanyi tubayozaayoza mwebale kuwaayo kaseera bw'obeera omukulembeze kirungi okusigala ng'otambulira mu kumanya kubanga okumanya tekukuma otuuka ekiseera n'ogamba nti kaakati nze nkikubye ennyo awo bootandisa okwonooneka tulina tambulira mu kumanya mu kwongerako mu kwongera okutegeera ensi nga bw'etambula. Nelson Mandela yagamba nti education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. Nti okusoma oba ebyenjigiriza kyakulwanyisa kinene nnyo ekisobola okukozesebwa okukyusa ensi ate nga kituufu kubanga abantu baba nga basomyeko nga bayigirivu libeera byanjawulo eggwanga eryo libeera byanjawulo nnyo n'engeri gye balondamu n'engeri gye basalawo engeri gye bateeka abakulembeze ku nninga ebeera yanjawulo kyovudde olaba oba oliawo gavumenti eno ebyenjigiriza tebiteekako nnyo ssira tubeereyo mu palamenti nga tubiyombako UPE Universal Primary Education kibayita capitation grant zino sente zigenda kuyisa omwana ono mu ssomero ebyenjigiriza bye naki buli mwaka buli mwana bamusasulira $200 omwaka gwonna si wiiki si mwezi si taamu omwaka gwonna kakati gwe teebereza $200 omwaka omulamba oyo omwana gwe basuubira nti ajja kutuula ebibuuzo bye bimu n'abagenda mu masomero agali wano e Kampala oyo mwana gwe basuubira nti ajja kusobola okumpiitinga n'abaana abali mu nsi endala zonna mu nsi yonna tekisoboka kyobuloola tusigala tuli mabega ne tugamba nti abasomesa bonna basasulwe bulungi gavumenti yo yagamba nti tujja sasulamu abasayansi bokka ate abalala aba arts bo si basomesa bo tebasomesa ssaawa ze zimu tebatula mu classroom y'emu. Of course kyeyakola Mwami Museveni n'abayita n'abakangakanga awo mutagende mu class tujja bagoba bambi abasomesa ne batya aba arts ne baddayo okwekalakasa ne bakuyimiriza ne baddayo okusomesa naye ebyaddala bw'obigoberera abasomesa bali mu kibiina naye tebasomesa nga bwe kirina kubeera kubanga tebali motivated tebajja kuwaayo buli kimu ekibalimu okusomesa abaana bano obulungi kubanga si basanyufu kati bajja kusomesako bya mpola mpola kati kolowooza nti bali mu kibiina basomesa naye nga ate tebasomesa kati ovudde baffe tugamba ebintu ebyo tulina obikyusa gavumenti yaffe egenda bikyusa tuteeke essira ku byenjigiriza kubanga abantu abasomyeko abayigirivu tebajja kukola nga bino omuzemula Mwami Museveni alambula n'agenda okulambula abalina obubizi abalina obukoko obusatu bambi abantu abaavu najja n'afukamira n'amuwa ebbaasa erimu ba $5,000 oba mmeka kati omuntu asomyeko abagamba nedda saagala bbaasa yo njagala luguudo njagala mu ddwaliro twagala mirimu g'abavubuka kati kyovudde olaba batubeezaawo ffe kyetwagala kikyuke ng'abantu bamanye ekyokukola bamanye ekyokubanja abakulembeze baabwe si just bbaasa wetwagala okusomoka era pulezidenti njagala kugumya nga tumaze okutwala obukulembeze ate ekyo nga tekiri wala nnyo tulina obumalirivu tulina obusobozi obuddukanya gavumenti kubanga tekikomenda ku bakulembeze nti bafuna zi masters ne tuzifuna aba Harvard naki twagala kiremeko ku bakulembeze ab'oku ntikko ffenna tubenga tumanye ekyokukola kubanga pulezidenti ng'ali mu state house si abeera akulembera yekka abeera n'abakulembeze ab'enjawulo kati kino kitulaga nti ffe tuli ready okuddukanya gavumenti twagala okusomooza abalala namwe mujje musome tulabe nga eggwanga ligenda maaso. Congratulations again.
Kama wange mwongere engali z'amaanyi naffe aba media tuli basanyufu nti mu ssomero Jonas webale kusoma yimirira abantu bakulabeko yimirira leero alina mutaayi ali mutayi naye yasomye, so buli muntu alina eddembe okulaba nti ayongerwako kyasobola okukola ki okwongerwako. Mr. President and the Secretariat, I will indulge you just for a minute. These graduates forgot just a small act. Please mujje mugabe ekirabo kyammwe ekyo mu ddakiika emu tugende ku programu endala. Temugenda funa mukisa gwa kwogera okujjako okusoma nti kati gwe nono ekirabo naawe nono ekirabo.
So much. The President, Deputy Presidents, the Leader of Opposition, Secretary General, the leaders around, fellow graduates, parents and everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Irene Kaija Nin. I was the treasurer for Class B, acting treasurer for Class B. And I've been honored to give these gifts out very, very fast. To begin with, we have a gift for our dear coordinator, the NUP School of Leadership. Where is she? Miss Kaija Doreen, you can come forward for our very simple and beautiful gift. Thank you so much for everything you have been doing for us. We pray for you. Feel appreciated in all ways. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Our second gift goes to Razak Dalil. Where is Razak? We have a gift for you, Mr. Razak. That man wouldn't allow us to even hold phones in class. He would always be near the window. So feel appreciated. Thank you so much for everything you do. Feel appreciated. Humbly appreciated. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Feel appreciated. And our last gift goes to Mr. Kavanda, the security officer. Kavanda Zoe. Kavanda Zoe. Kavanda would make sure once principal says it's 5 p.m., even if you come at 1 minute past, you'd go back. So thank you so much. Feel appreciated. Gifts from Class B professionals. Thank you.
Nange kino nakireetedde President okuva e Jamaica. Mr. President, nkuleetedde ekirabo ekyokunjigiriza okusoma. Ekyo nakijja e Jamaica.
Kino ekyaffe ekivudde mu Class A, class y'aba foot soldier. Tukireetedde coordinator waffe Madam Kaija nga tumwebaza olw'okubeera maama n'atulera bulungi mpaka we tumaliriza. Thank you so much. Ate ne baasa tugenda juwa foot soldier munnaffe yamenyeka okugulu nga bagenda eyo mu Tuwa bamutomera okugulu ne kuvaako Seruga. Era essaawa zino era akyali mu struggle wadde yavaako okugulu, Mr. President. Muzoganyi wa Paul.
People power, our power. Let me invite our Deputy President, Northern Region, to come and take the honors of inviting the President, who will invite our Deputy President. please. I want to thank the organizing committee of this place, the executive secretary of the president, Sarah Mukubireko Mungalo, okutuyotera n'akakiiko ke konna manyi nti ali wala waliyo n'ebirala bye tuteeseteese temuvaawo nga tetukoze eki tetubibawadde naddala ba student twabalowoozezzaako mu ngeri ey'enjawulo.
Oritia! 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 Kunga School of Leadership, Kunga! Kunga Doreen, Kunga! Kunga NUP, Kunga! Your Excellency, the de facto and de jure President of the Republic of Uganda, it's not only the love people are showing you, it is that you inspired us across generations. You inspired us across the geography. You even demystified geography because you went virtual. You have gone spiritual. Who are we on behalf of the deputy presidents from the 4 regions? Inspired by the truth that as my generation sent fear to respond to fear, you led a generation and lead a generation that has sent hope to open the door for fear. And fear has run away. I've seen it, I've touched it. Yes. You have instilled and created and reincarnated the likes of Martin Luther King Jr. As they were speaking, I was walking through mentally, emotionally, that generation. I couldn't cry. We can't now cry because you are the Martin Luther King Jr. multiplied many times. What can we say? Today we can't say. We have been ignited, we are on fire, and we are ready to move. Olwecho, nzikiriza. Kankutwala obude buno, n'emikisa gino, bana Uganda yenna fenna, mu online ne physically, tulinda olwaleero era ddala okuva wano n'amaanyi ebyo tugende wa kubanga ffe tumanyi tulaga naye gwe okulembese waffe era ddala we believe in you, we trust in you, you inspire us. Your Excellency, may I have the honor to invite you. Zani.
People power! Our power! NUP! Everywhere! Oritia! Kunga Uganda, Kunga! Kunga Mama Zebriga, Kunga! Kunga School of Leadership, Kunga!
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please take your seats. Madam Deputy Presidents from Western Uganda and from Northern Uganda, our dear guest, Professor Spire, fellow leaders, members, ladies and gentlemen, I salute you today. As a matter of fact, today, I don't have so much to share with you. I'm only here, just like the rest of us, to feed from the cup of wisdom of Professor Spire, a man who we admire from a distance, but we are honored to host you for the first time today and hope to host you many more times in the future. However, before I invite you, sir, today I must make this comment. Looking at these amazing people passing out again from our School of Leadership throws my mind so many years ago. So many years in that very ghetto of Kamocha. That place was a hangout place for ghetto youth. From their border works, from their car washing works, and those others who would come from their wallet snatching escapades. That is a ghetto where many of us would meet. I was one of them, but I had got the rare opportunity to go to school, though not substantially. So in the year 2016, I made a conscious decision to go back to law school. And that's where I met that man with the bald head called David Lewis Lubongoya. But everything that we learned in law school, I found it important to share with my fellow ghetto youths. So every lecture that we concluded, myself and Nubian Lee would hang out in the same ghetto and share the same with the ghetto youths of that day, but in a local language and in a more simplified version. When we started the People Power movement that culminated into the National Unity Platform, that very place was turned into our first headquarters. Of course, it was a pain for so many ghetto youth. Their claim was, "Father," that's what they used to call me back in the ghetto, "you've given away our place to the intellectuals." My answer to them was, "I'm only bringing knowledge closer to you." I'm very glad to see that those words continue to come to action as we move forward. Among them were many of our comrades that I'm seeing today transforming just like myself have been transforming. We give glory back to the Almighty God for that. Friends, things are possible and things are achievable only if you don't stop dreaming. So it fills my heart with pleasure, with gratitude, with satisfaction, and with pride to see that this is where we are today. We're certainly not where we want to be, but we are not where we used to be. But what is most important is that we are the same people, and I hope we shall continue to be the same people, only transforming from good to better. We thank God that we are here. I salute all of you that embraced the call to better yourselves. And I'll tell you, comrades, that Malcolm X was not wrong to say that education is the passport to the future. No, he wasn't. I want to assure you that Steve Biko was not wrong when he said the most important weapon in the hands of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. No, he was not wrong. And yes, Che Guevara was not wrong to say the first duty of a revolutionary is to get educated. Here we are. You have taken the first step. You've accomplished the first duty, although education never ends. Please take the next one to put that you've learned into action, and we shall be the leaders worth our salt. I congratulate you. Go fly, go make us proud, go make Uganda proud. Go represent us, because everybody looking at you will be seeing all of us here. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. Bannange kya kitiibwa nnyo bassebo ne bannyabo, abazadde baffe abali wano leero, abagole baffe, bakulembeze bannange mwenna, n'okusingira ddala omugenyi waffe ow'enjawulo Dr. Spire Ssentongo. Tukwaniriza nnyo ssebo omulundi gwaffe ogusoose okukyaza, era twesunze okwongera okukyaza nate enfunda eziwerako mu biseera eby'omu maaso. Bannange leero saateeseteese kwogera bingi nga mbadde neererejja ennaku eziyise. Olwaleero nange okufaanana n'abalala bali wano, nange nazze kuyiga mu bigambo eby'amakulu ebiva mu mugenyi waffe omukulu Dr. Spire, gwe tubadde tuyigirako from a distance
mwena abajjukira munajjukira ti Professor Spire abadde wanjawulo nnyo. Waliwo omukulembeze gye buvuddeko yagamba nti mu biseera biri ebyayita abayivu omulimu gwabwe balina okusalawo kwa mirundi ebiri, either okukola omulimu gwabwe nakera ku makya nasiba ettayi nagenda ku university nasomesa nawandiika ebitabo nasirikiraawo, oba okudduka mu ggwanga babaawa okwogera mazima. Twagala okusiima ssebo Dr. Spire nti tubadde nga ba intellectual ab'omulembe guno abamanyi amazima ate nga bagezi naye nga amagezi gaabwe bagakozesa kukuumira mu kifo obutali bwenkanya. Ssebo okoze omulimu gw'amaanyi gwe watandika zi exhibitions omwali n'eya parliament n'olabisa abantu bangi omuli ne bakyali baffe, naye oba oli awo ekyo omuntu yenna yenna ayagala ensi ye kyalina okukola okulaga amazima. Ssebo tukwebaza, webale nnyo webalire ddala. Olunaku lwaleero lwa nkizo baganda bange, ate eri nze lundeetera ebirowoozo bingi kuba bwe ntunuulira abayizi baffe olunaku lwaleero abagenda okutikkirwa n'okufuna certificates, obwongo bwange budduka ne buddayo emyaka mingi nnyo emabega. Ekifo ekyo kyennyini abali essomero lyaffe ery'obukulembeze twakiyitanga barracks nga tukyali ba fire base crew. Ekifo ekyo lyali kuŋŋaaniro ly'abaana ba ghetto bonna gye bavudde mu kupambana kwabwe, abatembeeyi nga bakooye nga bapoyeraawo, abavudde okwoza emmotoka nga bapoyeraawo, n'abava okunyakula obusimu nga nabo bapoyeraawo. So yali nga ntabiro y'abaana ba ghetto, era ebiseera ebyo nga yali ghetto president nafunanga omukisa okunyumyangamu nabo. Ekyenjawulo nti nze nalina omukisa nga ndi mwana wa ghetto naye nga nasomako weewaawo nali saagenda wala, era nga wetusinkanira ne twogera ku mbeera ze tuyitamu. Mu mwaka gwa 2016 nasalawo okuddayo ku ssomero okusoma amateeka, era twalina omusomesa waffe yatusomesanga amateeka yali tanakutuka kiwalaata, sigamba nti yakikutuka. Omusajja oyo yali muwanvuwanvu abamu temumumanyi, baali bamuyita Lubongoya. Naye nga buli lecture gye tumala mu law class bweva ku university ate eyo lecture nzija nenjimenyeramenyeramu bakyali bange mu ghetto. Ebiseera ebyo kyatukolanga bulungi kubanga ffe twali tulina ensisinkana ey'enjawulo ey'ebangula nga buli omu kyamanyi akiyigiriza omulala, kuba mu ghetto twalina enkola eya each one teach one, era kyomanyi okiyigiriza banno mu lulimi lwabwe. Kyakitiibwa nnyo titugenze tweyubula okutuuka ku kiseera kino, naye nga tetunaba kweyubula wajjawo obwetaavu era ne tuyitibwa. Tulina okukkiriza nti guno omulimu Katonda yatuyita tugukole, era omulimu ogwo twasalawo ogukola. Twatandika ekisinde kye bayita People Power Movement ekyayiyubula ne kifuuka National Unity Platform, era nga mu kifo ekyo bwe twateeka ekitebe kyaffe ekyasooka, abaana ba ghetto basooka kukomplaininga kwemulugunya nti fada ate ekifo kyaffe tubadde tupoyera naffe obadde tuyigirizaamu olwo actually ate kati okiwadde bano ba actually bennyini. Mu kubaddamu nabagamba ngezaako okusembeza kumanya gye muli, kyali tekirabibwa kiseera ekyo, nebaza Katonda nti kitandise okulabibwa. Bwe twafuna omukisa ne tufuna ekitebe ekineneko wano wenyini we tuli, olw'ekisa kya Katonda twafuna era ekirowoozo ekifuulira ddala awo essomero. Mu bantu abaabeeranga awo mu biseera bya ghetto ndi musanyufu okulaba nti ate mu kweyubula kwaffe tetwebudde nga Lopu bwagambye Comrade Ssenyonyi bakulembeze bankutiko bokka, ne mu abo mwe mwali nga ndabyeko Dogo City One, oyo yali omu ku bo. Ndabyeko Pafuje wali wano, Pafuje yali omu ku bo. Era mu abo abaana abaali ngaawo nga bayaye baawo bwe twafuna n'omu ku bakulembeze bwe bayita Twaha Amin, oyo ng'akiikirira Naggulu. Naye njagala okwebaza mwenna baganda baffe abaawulira omulango ogwo ogw'okukkiriza okuyiga era ne mwenyigira mu kusoma okwo. Guno gwe mulundi ogwokubiri nga tupasinga out oba nga tutikkira abayizi okuva mu ssomero eryo. Mbeebaza nnyo, mbeebaza okumanya ensonga enkulu. Tikino tekikoma ku muntu omu, naye kikulu nnyo wekyomanyi n'okiyigiriza omulala, naye nakiyigiriza omulala, naye nakiyigiriza omulala. Yengeri gye tusobodde okubeerawo, bye tumanyi tubimanyi kubanga abatusookawo baatuwa omukisa ne tubiyiga. Kyova olaba mbagamba nti yali mutuufu nnyo omugezi Malcolm X bwe yagamba nti okuyiga ye passport egenda okutwambuza okutuusa mu biseera by'omaaso ebyokweyagala. Yali mutuufu nnyo Steve Biko bwe yagamba ekyokulwanyisa ekyasinze okuba eky'amaanyi nga kiri mu mikono gy'oyo anyigiriza bwe bwongo oba endowooza y'oyo anyigirizibwa. Era yali mutuufu Kyeguvera nga tugamba nti omulimu gw'oyo omulwanirizi w'eddembe ogusookera ddala kwe kuyigirizibwa oba okubangulwa. Kya kitiibwa nnyo kiri mu kaseera kano tulina ate ababanguddwa mu nnono yaffe, mu ntegeera yaffe, mu birubirwa byaffe n'endowooza yaffe n'entegeera yaffe ng'aba National Unity Platform. Nina okumanya wa gye tuva ng'eggwanga, musobola okumanya n'okusalawo wa gye tugenda oba gye tulina okugenda. Tosobola kumanya wa gy'olaga nga tomanyi gy'ova. Nedda, omugezi omu yagamba the farther back you look is the farther in front you see. Teweetaaga kulengera nnyo mu maaso okumanya gy'olaga. Nedda, tunula weetegereze wa gye tuvudde. Kijja kuwa ekifaananyi okulaba wa gye tulaga oba n'okuwa endowooza oba ebirowoozo enteekateeka wa gye tulina okulaga. Ekyo nno kye tuliko olunaku lwa leero basewo ne bannyabo. Njagala okubayozaayoza mwenna abeewaddeyo abatindiza eŋŋendo nga muganda waffe okuva e Kasese n'ojja n'obeera part of us, n'ojja n'oyiga. Njagala okusalutinga abaganda baffe, ndabye Jona wano omu ku bakulembeze ababannamawulire baffe okuba nti mu schedule eri bize osobodde okwewaayo n'osoma. Nayitayoko ku ssomero, nasanyuka nnyo n'okusangayo abantu abatalina kye beetaaga nga ba star already nga muganda waffe Dax Cartel, music star already, naye newaayo ayige. Ogwo nno gwe mwoyo n'omutima gwe twetaaga ffenna ng'eggwanga. Bayozaayoza nnyo basebo ne bannyabo, mugende mutuweese ekitiibwa, mugende mulage ekifaananyi kyaffe. Yemmwe be tuyina, bulijjo otambula njagala omanye nti otambula naffe ffenna n'emikisa gyaffe gyonna n'obwesigwa bwaffe bwonna. Mutuweese ekitiibwa. Abantu abanaabalaba bajja kusinziira ku mmwe okutupima. Mukole kyonna kyonna kye musobola okutuwa ekifaananyi ekirungi. Emuyize temubikomya ku mmwe mwekka. Batuyigiriza abatuli owamwoyo nti tosobola kukuma tabaaza ate n'ogibikako ekibbo. Bw'okuma etabaaza olina ogireka ekitangala nekyakira buli omu. Ate omusubbaawa tegulina kye gufiirwa nga gukozeseddwa okukoleeza ku musubbaawa omulala. Muli misubbaawa basebo ne bannyabo, mugende mukulaanye emisubbaawa emirala. Ensi eyake, ffenna twake, tufune ekitangaala. Omugigi gwaffe gusobole okuyamba omugigi gwaffe gwennyini n'emigigi gyonna gyonna eginaddako. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala kwewaayo, mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala ate mufuuke bakulembeze. Not even the sky is the limit. Mukama abampere nnyo omukisa, mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala. N'obugambo obwo ssebo Dr. Spire saba okkirize nkuyite ojje oyogereko gye tuli.
Mukyayimiridde. Ansuubire ku geeti waliwo obukuumi obumala. Kubammwe mwamanyira okuddukadduka abamu kuffe emisinde gyaffe tetugyesiga. Olwekyo abali ku geeti kansuubire baategese bulungi. Banze n'ekigere kinnuma ebajjira wano ntuula kutuusa. Aho Honorable Chagulanyi, the President of NUP, the Leader of Opposition, the Secretary General, all the Deputy Presidents, other party leaders, our graduates, other leaders present, the parents to the graduates, friends, everyone. I'm really honored to be before you today as the guest speaker. I congratulate the graduates. I was informed that this is the second certificate awarding ceremony, and that last year the keynote speaker was Geno Muntu. So this year they looked around for another Geno, and they felt that I would be the right person to give the keynote speech. Not really to say that the Geno title is a big one, especially today. But nevertheless, I'm really honored. I want to first thank you before I go into the main the gist of my invitation. I thank you, many of you, for standing with us when I lost my brother a few days ago. Yeah, many of you are there with us. You've sent us messages. I've not read many of the messages because they were overwhelming. You sent messages, condolences, some of you called. Yeah, we really don't take that for granted. Yeah, I thank you so much for that. And in that line, to request you that we stand up for a moment of silence in honor of my fallen brother, Dr. John Bosco Chibundu Spire. May his soul rest in peace. Thank you. When I'll not have to translate, I want to assume that many of us will understand me, but also for the sake of including those who may not understand Luganda. Otherwise, if I translate, we might spend the whole day here. So here and there, I'll use a bit of Luganda, but I may not translate everything. When Mr. David Rubongoya reached out to me, I first turned down the invitation. Of course, following the recent loss of my dear brother, I have not yet recovered from the shock and pain. I've been quiet for a while since my mind is not yet in the right place. I'm still going through a long night. But I quickly remembered that when my brother died, Mr. Rubongoya is one of the so many people that reached out to me with condolences and a message from the President, Honorable Robert Chagulanyi. Abaganda bagamba nti munno mukabi. As a friend in difficult times, he's a true friend. But also on top of that, although I have not been very close to Nup, and this is my first time here, on a number of occasions, the leaders have reached out to me, sometimes encouraging me, please visit us, could we have a talk? A few years ago, I held a comedy show, and I was surprised to see the entire crew of Honorable Chagulanyi. Yes, even Nubian Lee was there with his small voice. I saw him in the audience. Yes, and Eddie Motwe, the Secretary General as well. I was really surprised because I never invited Eddie because I wanted the show to go on. I don't know whether their intention was to sabotage the show by their presence. Yeah, but it means a lot if one can just randomly show up, and they showed up in such a number. I'm impressed by people who are humble. I'm impressed by people who do not try to show that they are high up there, but who can calm down, regardless of the positions they might hold or their qualifications, And I've seen this on a number of occasions, your leaders going to places where you wouldn't expect them to be. So that being with me, that being with us in grieving, but also on other occasions where it was really surprising for them to be there. I don't take it for granted. I remember even the time I was quarantined, again, Honorable Chagulanyi called me, and he's one of those that try to encourage me to go through that difficult time. So therefore, despite my current circumstances, I changed my mind and accepted to be here today. A friend I told about coming here asked me, "Are you sure you want to go there? Are you sure you want to be kidnapped while still grieving?" I told him that the kidnappers are human, they can't do that. Yes, and sometimes they are too stupid, they would take that for a compliment. The second reason why I accepted is because I believe that my relevance as an academic is primarily in being able to share the knowledge I have been privileged to acquire with my people that might need it. My titles mean little or nothing if I'm irrelevant to my community. We who want to consider ourselves to be highly educated have on so many occasions dismissed those who are trying to change what is not going right in this country. We have said that they lack knowledge. We said they are not well groomed. We have said they are unwashed. We have said they are still raw. In one of the speeches, I think the representatives of the group, yes, she said, "You went to the training when you were," did you mean raw or low? Oh, when you were raw. And now the president whispered to me that now you're low, L-A-W. Yes, so they said that some of you were raw and dismissed you on that account. Yet whenever we are invited to rise to the occasion, we shy away with excuses. I have chosen to respect whoever tries to do what needs to be done, even if they may not be perfect, even if they may be imperfect. After all, we are all imperfect. Era Abaganda tugamba nti akanyuga lyali nalyo. N'olwekyo mbasaamu ekitiibwa olw'okukanyuga lye muli nalyo wadde abamu bagamba nti ttono oba wadde abamu bagamba nti mukutte ekifunfugu. I will certainly critique them, but in the spirit of improving, not destroying. That is the second reason why I accepted to come. I'm not here because you're perfect. No one is. I'm not here because I agree with everything you do. I'm not here because I think you have the best credentials. I'm here because, unlike many of us, you chose not to fold your hands. You chose to do what you can do in your capacity, which is better than doing nothing. I'm here because despite of all the risks you face, despite of the pictures on those walls of your comrades who have died in the struggle, despite of your colleagues being locked away in this beautiful country's jails without any fair trial, despite frequent threats of crushing you for no good reason, despite the everyday risk of being rounded up and driven away for torture, despite temptations of big monies being thrown at you, you people still stand by what you believe. I respect that. Yes, it is indeed surprising that with all that has happened at this place, you can still come here and find people seated here. you would only expect a fool to sit in such a place. Because for some, even just passing there, they have to run. Because this is a dangerous place. It's like what we used to hear about Bermuda Triangle. So for you to choose to still stay in a place that is that risky to be, especially where the risk is not for having broken any law, but for standing by a certain cause. I really respect that. Whether I agree with it or not, I still respect it. And especially because we don't have many people today who are willing to take such a stance. The third reason I'm here is because of your constant efforts at making yourselves better. You have challenged many of us at individual level, we who consider ourselves to be more worthy. You have challenged all the political parties and seasoned politicians. Of course, it's not to say or to despise them. They are doing some of them are doing wonderful things. But I think it's a challenge for the few years you've been around to do what you've been able to do. We may publicly bash you, but we privately ask ourselves, aba bavubuka bakikola batya? You have responded to dismissal by proving your capacity to grow and transform, as the president said. We said you're not educated, which was not entirely true, because many of you are really educated and even highly educated. But when we say that you're not educated, many of you went back to school. We said you were bayai, hooligans. Although I think many of you might have believed, like I do, that there is nothing wrong with carrying dreadlocks. You painfully cut them off to fit into the public's idea of a decent person. After all, and this reminds me of a song by Morgan Heritage. Pray to be Rasta. You don't have to pray to be Rasta. Yes, it's not a dreadlocks thing, it's a divine conception of the heart. Nubian, I expected to hear your small voice behind. I don't know why. For the many years I've been hearing your collabos with now Bobby Wine, I don't know why you choose to always sing the small voice and he sings the big one. Yes, but the point I'm trying to make is that even when they said you're bayai, some of you had to cut off your dreadlocks, although you knew that it's not really about the dreadlocks, it's not about appearance, it's what one has at heart, what one has in their mind. You chose to cut them off to fit into the public narrative for the sake of what you believed needed to be done. You set up a leadership school whose fruits we are celebrating today, something that was unprecedented. We wondered what the curriculum was, and it has been asked many times. I heard you mention some of the things you studied, but many people have been asking, what is that school teaching and who are the lecturers? I've been able to see some of them here today. Yes, but that's no mean achievement, and beyond it being an achievement, it also shows the zeal to learn, and understanding that we are not going to keep ourselves in a particular position. We need to inform ourselves in order to do what we have to do. Someone said that, I forget the name, that if he was given a task of cutting down a tree and he was given 4 hours, he would spend the first 3 hours sharpening the axe and maybe 1 hour to cut the tree. You have been sharpening your axe because there was a provision that was set according to the vision, which I really commend. Earlier this year, you invited me to speak to your trainees. It was my first time to visit your facilities. One thing that struck me was how the trainees listened very attentively and with very high discipline for over 3 hours. For over 3 hours, I overstayed my welcome. I was invited to speak for 1 hour, I ended up speaking for 3. But they stayed there listening attentively. And the discipline with which they took instruction from the director, Miss Doreen Kaija, it was really amazing. At the time I visited the school, it had just been violently raided by security and most equipment had been confiscated. I asked if there was a projector that I could use for my presentation. And Doreen responded, "We don't have, everything was taken." But when I entered the room, I found it packed with people waiting for me. I asked them, "You people, how are you able to still gather in this place, yet you know you can be rounded up anytime?" They simply laughed. I found that commitment and the desire to learn quite impressive. The fourth reason why I'm here, now when I'm giving the reasons, it sounds like I'm singing UB40's song. Which song is that? Even Doctor is also into the thing. Yes, reasons why I love you 1, reasons why I love you 2. Now I'm on the 4th reason. This is a selfish one. I'm here to distract myself from the pain of losing my brother and to use this occasion to make reflections on life, purpose and resilience, which could speak to your life experiences and aspirations. When John died, almost everything I have been doing lost meaning. Kati abakamera balinze nkaabe sigenda kaaba. Mwagala mukwata akafaananyi mukajeyo nga wayise emyaka ng'akapasita Bujingo mukatambuze. Sigenda kaaba wadde enkovu zinnuma. So when John died, almost everything I've been doing lost meaning. I keep asking myself, what for? What is life all about? What is the actual difference between being alive and being dead? Why do we struggle so hard in life only to vanish like wildflowers? Why do people who try to do good suffer? Why do those who bring pain to others often live long? What is the worth of our effort on earth? Why should we continue doing anything or even continue to live? So many questions, very few clear answers. I will only expand on one here.